Hello and welcome to Together San Diego. Thank you for joining us. I'm Paola Hernandez Jayo from the San Diego Union-Tribune. The Salvation Army has been providing support on the ground in Ukraine and surrounding countries to provide those in need with the critical supplies, services, and hope. Today's guest, Lieutenant Colonel Lescano, will tell us about that support and how people in San Diego in our community can also help. Please help me in welcoming Lieutenant Colonel Lescano to our show. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good afternoon. Thank you.
The Salvation Army is an international organization. Some folks may not be aware of that. Can you tell us a little bit about the Salvation Army and also your efforts that you have on an international basis?
Yes, the Salvation Army is in 134 countries around the world. And in fact, as we're talking about the Eastern Europe area, we have been there for many, many years and reestablished after the Soviet Union fell. And so the Salvation Army is in Ukraine and in the surrounding countries. And as the fact that we're right there, part of the community, we're able to help immediately with what's going on.
You do have several locations. Your staff actually sent us a map here where I can demonstrate the multiple locations that you have, even within Ukraine, and the options that are directly, as we're saying, on the ground for people to help. One of the reasons why we're doing this interview is because San Diegans have been asking, what can I do to help? How can I have an impact locally to help on the ground in Ukraine with the people of Ukraine that are being affected by what is currently happening over there. So the Salvation Army here in San Diego has a way also to help. Tell us the efforts that are being made by the Salvation Army World Services over there in Ukraine.
Yes, the Salvation Army is providing hope, healing, and comfort to those displaced internally and refugees that are fleeing to the surrounding countries. We're giving food and shelter, of course, spiritual support, because our faith transcends the borders, and we want to help all those that are there. And so our Salvation Army officers, soldiers, volunteers are on the ground already and have been serving thousands of people with basic assistance as well as shelter and helping the refugees to get to their home country or to their families' countries. We, the Salvation Army, because of our international efforts and the Salvation Army's World Service Office, we're able to send 100% of local donations straight into the area. So if people here want to give to help provide that basic support that we're doing there to provide for help in the country, we will send it straight through our international headquarters and right to the area 100%.
And one of the best ways to help if you're here in San Diego is to donate online. You can donate to salarmy.us/help Ukraine. There's also options if you would like to make a donation, make it directly by phone at 1-800-725-2769, which is 1-800-SAL-ARMY. And then if you would like to make a donation of $10, you can send a text to Ukraine at 52,000 to make that donation. I'm going to leave this on here while we're speaking on screen. You also sent me some pictures of what's happening on the ground. Here are what looks like, are those grocery bags of foods that are being provided to the families?
Yes, all the areas, including the Salvation Army offices, the corps there in Ukraine, have been putting together basic supplies like that and delivering them to people who need them. We actually have 9 Salvation Army units in Ukraine itself. I did get word recently that 2 of our Salvation Army corps did have to pause operations because they're right in the middle of the action and the attack. And so we're continuing to help with Salvation Army officers that are in Poland, Romania, as well as other countries surrounding, ready to help those that are come to us. Hot meals, certainly part of it. We've given out some 6,000 cooked meals so far in the last report I got, as well as thousands of food parcels, water bottles, hygiene products, baby supplies, formula, and diapers. And so everything that is needed for the people that are just suffering so much, we're providing through the monetary donations that people give us.
So that's the easiest and the best way locally to help. You can make a monetary donation. You can make it online at salarmy.us/help Ukraine. And then you can also make it, if you would like to do it by phone, you can donate at 1-800-SAL-ARMY, which is 1-800-725-2769. And then there's the option also, if you would like to make a $10 donation, text Ukraine to 52000. I'd like to talk a little bit right now, Lieutenant, about the local efforts that you have been making. I know there's been a large donation that was made here in San Diego through one of the organizations like Kiwanis Club of La Jolla, who collected and donated some folks. They stepped up to help the cause.
Yes, the people of San Diego have really responded. I know they want to help. They sense the need in that area, and they know that we're on the ground there. So we've raised a little over $100,000 so far, including the Kiwanis Club that just did a tremendous job in a short amount of time. And so again, we're taking all donations here locally or through that website you've given, and we'll pass it on immediately and fully to the local area. But the people here have just been great, and I know they want to help. It is true that giving in-kind goods at this time, even though that's easy, is almost impossible and very costly for us to try and get supplies there. So monetary donations are the best way to help the people there.
And through these monetary donations, there is an organized way there that the Salvation Army is working. The Salvation Army World Service Office is working to meet the needs, as you said, for basic needs like a family that might need diapers for their baby, formula for their babies, that might need the food and the basic needs. So if you are able to make a monetary donation, I'm sharing the information on screen if you would like to help here in San Diego. I know I personally and our family wanted to help when we saw what was happening. And because I've known of the Salvation Army, I volunteered with the Salvation Army in the past, I knew that was a reputable organization. I knew that you have international locations as well, and that would be an option for folks here in San Diego that want to help to make a donation, either online or on the phone, make a monetary donation to help on the ground in Ukraine, and the help goes directly to the people that are there. Something else that you would like to add?
Again, our surrounding areas, also the money will go for Ukraine, but also, for instance, in Romania, where thousands of refugees have passed through the Siret swamp, the Salvation Army emergency team is mobilized and there to provide assistance, including helping them with reunification with their families and getting the proper documentation to keep moving forward. So it's a very complex situation. We're doing what we can, and we will continue to support our people that are there on the ground as long as this goes on.
Thank you very much for coming on the show. Thank you for sharing this information and the work that the Salvation Army is doing. For somebody here in San Diego that would like to get involved, that would like to do something here locally, I know I volunteered in the past with the Salvation Army. I'm going to share on screen the local information and the website if you would like to volunteer, or more information on the multiple locations here in San Diego. You can visit sandiego.salvationarmy.org. Something that you would like to share, Lieutenant Colonel, about San Diego here locally, the Salvation Army?
Yes, of course, this situation in Ukraine is very serious and we want to help, but there are people right here in our backyard that are suffering on a daily basis that just have barely enough to get by. And of course, with inflation the way it is, we know how difficult it is. So the families that are on the edge, we're there. We have 7 core and community centers across San Diego County, and we're providing daily emergency assistance. So, and of course, we do need volunteers to help in those units in our shelters. So whatever people can do to help your neighbors as well as those around the world, we're there to be a bridge to help you help others. Thank you for all that you do. And thank you for your prayers for peace and for the people in Ukraine.
We just got a comment in from James Johnson. I shared it on screen as you were speaking. So I did want to share that that's one of the reasons why we asked what the Salvation is doing here in San Diego. This interview was specifically to talk about how we can help in Ukraine, because I have actually gotten calls and questions, and my family personally wanted to help the people of Ukraine, but the Salvation Army does do a lot in San Diego. So thank you very much for addressing that question. I know you also work with the homeless here in San Diego with your location downtown. Would you like to address this question?
Yes, we've been expanding. Of course, everyone knows the seriousness of the homeless situation. Salvation Army has been working on it for many years, and we work on a transformational basis. That is not just to provide a shelter, a roof, which is important, but to provide the counseling to help people really make a difference in their lives. And so we have our Rady Center in Dorf Hope campus and planning a new Rady Center in downtown San Diego. So we're expanding our homeless services to try and really help those who can make a difference in their lives.
I'm also sharing on screen your social media where they can follow you at Salvation Army SD. And I'd also like to add, I live in East County, and I was at one of your thrift stores recently because I do make donations to the Salvation Army, and I know they're sold through your thrift stores. And I was very surprised. I actually purchased some items. You have some very good items there at your thrift stores. They were very well organized. And I actually found some items that were new because people do donate items that are new that maybe they didn't give away, maybe they didn't use. So that's also another opportunity. If you would like more information on those locations here in San Diego, you can visit sandiego.salvationarmy.org. I volunteered for many years with the Salvation Army, so that's why I'm very familiar with the services that you do and the good that you do in our community. Thank you very much, Lieutenant Colonel Lee Lescano, for being on the show with us, and thank you very much to your staff, to Jake, for helping us to put this interview together so we can provide this information. Again, if you would like to help for the people in Ukraine, you can make a donation at salarmy.us/help Ukraine, and by phone you can make it at 1-800-SAL-ARMY, which is 1-800-725-2769. And the last option is if you would like to text. You can text Ukraine to 52000 to give a $10 donation. Thank you very much, Lieutenant Colonel Lee Lescano, for being on the show. And thank you all for watching today. If you would like to watch more of these Together San Diego interviews, you can visit San Diego Union-Tribune.com/TogetherSD Live. And if you would like to watch more of our live streams, you can go to San Diego Union-Tribune.com/UT Today. Thank you very much for being on the show today. Thank you for this information, for the work you do in the community, and thank you all for watching. Have a great day.
News is more important today than ever before.
I'm currently outside Otay Mesa Detention Center.
I'm about to get a report at Sharp.
Out at Sunset Cliffs.
COVID testing site.
We live for these times when we're able to bring the news into the homes of people who need it the most.
I thank all of you for supporting our work.
When you subscribe to the paper, you're telling us that you believe in what we do.